Welcome back to How Today's subject. So this is something that I always wondered in my lifetime being in the music industry. Why was hip hop and R&B in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I always wondered that too, and I figured it out years ago that it's not really no prominent hip hop and R&B situation as big as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because our culture didn't really elevate it, if it is a museum or if it is one that is on a mainstream level. And I think after a while, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame felt like to bring certain viewers and certain eyes on it, they had to put more than just rock and roll artists into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And that brings me to something that the lead singer and creator of the group Kiss, Gene Simmons, made a comment. He's kind of like a rant. He made a statement that, hip hop artists and R&B artists should not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because there are so many Rock and Roll Hall of Fame groups that are Rock and Roll Hall of Famers that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that is not in it. Why was a group like Outkast, or why was someone like Mary J. Blige get in it before such and such and such and such? Now, there was a lot of outrage on his comments when he said, I wasn't raised in the ghetto. Those comments were based on him just ranting, but I kind of understand where he's going with it. I was very confused of, how they induct, people into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I always felt like it should have been a hip hop Hall of Fame and an R&B Hall of Fame that was on the same level as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But and if it is a show, it's not mainstream to be as popular. And I think the committee on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame knows that. I think the music industry knows that. And I believe to get the ratings and people supporting the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, there is some instances where certain talent from R&B and hip hop could be inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that are rock stars that transitions and transcends more than just hip hop and R&B. And that's people like Michael Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Hall & Oates, people like that, people that were legends in their field and crossed over, into Michael Jackson deserves Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Stevie Wonder deserved Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Prince, those guys crossed over into those genres. Run DMC. Now, Run DMC is another one. Groups like that. But it should be a hip hop and R&B Hall of Fame, and should be a Hall of Fame show, so on and so on and so on. Because I believe it does kind of, alienate certain rock and roll groups that should be in it. And I'm still shocked that all of these years with BET and all of those other things, that it was not no super big hip hop and R&B Hall of Fame show. And I do understand it is a hip hop and R&B museum, and maybe as entertainers, people, they need to tap into that and maybe try to create a mainstream version of those platforms. But Gene Simmons' comments, I wasn't mad at Gene Simmons for the comments. I felt like his rant, he should have been, maybe became a part of the committee. Maybe they need to voice. Maybe they probably voiced that behind the scenes. But it is situations where certain hip hop and R&B artists that cross over to rock and has had a successful career, as successful as some of those rock artists that Gene Simmons is talking about. But what are you guys' opinions? You can put in the comment of how you feel about, Gene Simmons' comments about hip hop and R&B artists should not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And if you are new to the channel, like and subscribe, because the more you like and subscribe, and when my new videos come out every week or every 2 weeks, you get a chance to get it first. But let me know your opinion down in the comments of how you feel about Gene Simmons' comments about hip hop and R&B artists shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Me, I kind of agree with him 50-50. It is so many groups rock and roll group that's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that should have been in them before certain people. I believe the structure, like Kool and the Gang. Yeah, Kool and the Gang should have been, they are rock stars. Kool and the Gang should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Little Richard, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I get it. It is certain instances where we needed to have our own hip hop and R&B Hall of Fames and celebrate them on a larger platform and on television and have a whole weekend on it and statues and all that. I really do believe that wholeheartedly, that there should be a hip hop and R&B separate Hall of Fames from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not mad at him, just some of the other basic stuff that he was saying with a little bit out of left field. I believe he was kind of caught up on his emotions when they asked him, and he really was passionate about certain groups that he named that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he has the right to his opinion, and I get it. I get it. I'm not mad at you, Gene Simmons. The people, they might be mad at you, but I'm not mad at you. I do believe that certain groups and things shouldn't have got in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before certain people. So that's my take on it. Gene Simmons, his rant. I'm out.